Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Mary Sky Release video blog on Mary Sky. So I got a couple announcements for you, but let me get this cold coffee first. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're so cute. I got Mr. Moppins with me, by the way. Mr. Moppins and I were just cuddling. One thing that's always good is Mr. Moppins, so before we get into details, let me tell you what's going on besides me sleeping. So last night, or yesterday I should say, because of the holidays, we had a couple small problems. One being, um, me and Chloe both had a small minor mental breakdown. And I'll explain what happened. Chloe realized, that, it's not her fault. You see, what happened was that how do I put it today, this morning? I'll explain the story. So yesterday morning we got up and we had to get moving along. And yesterday morning I got up and, I was loafing around. I got up early and, I said, oh, I have some time, to go and get things done, before going to the senior center for lunch. Apparently the senior center was packed. So, our mother Pam went over there, but it was Chloe's gonna go. So what happened was yesterday, it was like 5:36. I walked Moppy, and then afterwards I came in and I had to get things prepared. So it was like, well, I got to get a bath done, and then I got to do this, and then I got to do that. In the end, it was just pure, got to do this, got to do that, got to do this type of attitude. But eventually, what happened was, Chloe started talking about going back to her mother's. I said, okay, have your mom buy you a ticket. Because the last time she was bitching to me, she was telling me that her mother said to send her to the homeless shelter. Well, I told her, and Chloe was getting really kind of cranky. And I said, listen, I said, I don't have time for this. So Chloe was panicking last night about this happening and that happening. I said, on Thanksgiving, for real, you really got to complain about Thanksgiving, It was like one of those dwelling type things, So I got her calmed down, but at the same time, Mother Pam came by, and Mother Pam said the same thing, if, things happen, this or that, just let Rita do her job, And when Chloe realized, that besides me cooking Thanksgiving dinner and baking pies and baking cookies and baking fudge and doing all this, I was like, okay, I need to jump on the treadmill. I got my treadmill time in, and then all of a sudden, it was like time was accumulating and stuff, and eventually, lo and behold, Mother Pam comes by, and Mother Pam's trying to explain to us, listen to Mother Pam, and she's like, here's the deal, Rita, you need to accept the fact that, Chloe is too disabled and needs to be taken care of. Well, that depressed me. It was like, doesn't anyone have any idea that, etc. And then, Mother Pam said, that Chloe's mom, after Chloe talked to her about her mother, Mother Pam said, well, I have a degree in psychology, and I can clearly say Chloe's mom's a whack job. And then Mother Pam went on to go on and say, accept my responsibilities. Well, that is basically a form of abuse right there. Accept the responsibilities, take care of someone. I'm not getting paid for it. So, so finally, off and on, I was like, basically saying, well, I don't want to make Christmas dinner or not Christmas, Thanksgiving dinner because, there's only one of me, and you're going to eat out. So just let me just climb into bed for till tomorrow. Well, then Chloe was looking for the other phone and was like, well, where is it? And I go, I don't know where you put it, And I told her, Mother Pam said, if you want to call, here's the phone. Here's my phone. Here's your room. Just call your mom, Well, eventually, Chloe, Mother Pam was like telling Chloe, pretty much if you're going to do this route, then you might as well just have your mother take care of her ticket, get you home. Because as Mother Pam said, she said, look, And then, Mother Pam apologized to the fact that, she realized, that she should have been more of an influence to tell me, hey, if you're going to bake, you're a woman, maybe you need to bake um, at Christmas time, or Thanksgiving, do it the day before, I was like, oh, I can get this done. But, with everything else, etc. It's like, well, what do you do? How do you do it? And so, this video is just to talk about, even if it's 30 minutes, it's about what was going on, And so, one of the things I'll talk to you guys about today is what's going on. So, anyway, so finally, after my meltdown, Chloe had hers, and Mother Pam's like, well, if you're going to literally go ahead and do these demands, and maybe you should have your mother be the burden to take care of you, because when Mother Pam came back from the what do you call it, the senior center from dinner, she actually sat down and apologized to me wholeheartedly for her actions. And I was in the kitchen just hammering away, trying to cook a turkey and cook this and do that. And then I hear Chloe say, ooh, and so Chloe decided, I'm not going to go to the, what do you call it, senior center, because she realized that with me, I gotta just, I said to either do this or that. Well, with me prepping everything, I mean, I had to clean the apartment, then I had to run around, and grab recipes and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, and so forth. So I asked Mother Pam, do you have this ingredient? She's like, yeah. So I started putting that together, and she says, look at you, Rita, you made a big spread. And so Chloe comes along. She says, oh, well, I'm going to make these cookies. So she makes cookies. Dinner is running a little late because the baking wasn't done. And then all of a sudden, she's like, well, I'm going to make fudge. Fudge first, cookie second, And then, well, you need to make cornbread. So, the oven was going on and on and on. And finally, when it got down to the point where that was done, she's like, well, I said, well, why don't you, even Mother Pam said, why don't you call your mom, wish her Thanksgiving? I was like, fuck it. So all of a sudden, we got to the point where I'd go into Chloe's room and I'd be like, hey, well, what is this? Oh, you want that? Okay. So I'd go in and make them up and be like, here's the deviled eggs. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, well, where's this? Oh, you were too effing blind. And eventually I found it. And it was in a package. It was a paper brown bag that said cornmeal. So I had to turn around and take the cornmeal, take some recipe online through my phone, and then I went ahead and made cornmeal cornbread. And then afterwards, I would go to her and I'd be like, okay, potatoes are, well, I'll make it around hard 30. So I said, okay. So I watched a video on the Civilization game, Civilization 1. Then I saw 2, and I was like, oh, time. So I went in, and I prepped the potatoes. And then I put it in a pot, and she's like, I said, potatoes are being cooked. Well, they weren't hard. They weren't soft. So Chloe said, well, can you take them out? So, because she didn't tell me. You cut them into little pieces first, just like put them in a pot and boil them. That's what I was told. So finally, I was a bad person for not listening. Oh, really? Then finally afterwards, because it's Thanksgiving, I went ahead and went ahead and got that all prepared. And then she's like, what about the gravy? So I made up the gravy. And then, I used up a lot of gravy for my mashed potatoes. And then she said, well, what about my gravy? And, at the time I said, do you want me to take this gravy drippings that I have? It's a full pot. We're talking probably 12 cups of drippings from the turkey. And do you want me to turn and make it into soups and stuff? Oh, yeah. Put it in the fridge. Then she yells at me. Well, I didn't. Well, Mother Pam said, hey, I heard Rita basically clearly say, do you want us putting this in the fridge? Now you want drippings. Well, Chloe says, put the drippings into the pot. Well, while I was cooking, one of the burners decided, because it's turkey fat, decided to get caught in on it. And so it caught the thing, on, on it. And so the thing just went up. It was like, and so because of it, I finally had to switch burners, put the fire out, it didn't burn too much. And I had a fire extinguisher nearby. I was like, okay. So, I just wanted to share that with you all. And then afterwards, I'm not, saying, oh, woe is me. And then Mother Pam, she was trying to comfort me, she helped a little bit tidying up. Chloe, of course, is on a computer game. She's like, is it, so I said, yeah, this is the way it is. And, I was just like, I'll get it figured out eventually, so. She asked me about Christmas and stuff. I said, well, Chloe wants this game or that game. And, that was, she says, well, you order them, I'll wrap them up. And I said, well, I still need to get a DVD player for Mother Pam, I found the perfect portable DVD player so she could sit on her lap, and, she's like, oh, you're so kind. Well, Mother Pam apologized also because she felt bad because of the whole thing with Chloe. Chloe's in the other room, fixing herself and doing other things. And so, me, I'm, playing computer game. Me, I'm just like cooking and cleaning and doing everything. So Mother Pam apologized. And then Mother Pam's like, well, what do we do, So then, Mother Pam felt like a little kid in the candy store when she finally got a hold of YouTube, on my computer here. And it's like, yeah, let's look at belly dancers. And me, I'm just like sitting here taking a break, playing Family Guy, trying to get through level 23. It's like giggly. Yeah. I love the Family Guy game because it's, it's like, you see some on Facebook that seems cool. The Monopoly Railroad slot machine seems really cool too. I mean, I like talking about little things, but anyways, but yeah, Mother Pam was talking about, etc. And so, and then when me and Mother Pam were talking last night, she asked me about the lady. She says, yeah, you were on the phone, Rita, to some lady. Who were you on the phone to? And I said, well, me and Chloe were talking to a lady, and I'm going to clarify this morning. A lady of Chloe's mom. Chloe's mom was nice enough to look into it, to talk to a lady that got a referral to another lady. And when I talked to the lady, Chloe was basically screaming, like, no, I'm not talking to this lady, and Mother Pam yesterday is like, well, why don't you want to talk? Chloe's like, communication skills bad. And then she's like, your communication skills are fine. And she said, well, technically I don't want to deal with this, and I don't want my mother to win, so no. Well, I've arranged for this lady to come to the house on a day to talk to me and Chloe, but Chloe's like, if she's here, I'm gone. So Mother Pam's like, fine, you can go wherever you want around the island. No one cares. So I got to deal with this lady where I'm trying to get some resources and help. And I explained to the lady, I spent over an hour with this lady, probably like hour and 15 minutes on the phone. Okay, and I'll explain that first. But anyway, Thanksgiving was done, and then I washed up all the dishes. I did everything I needed, and then, I finally, after Mother Pam left, it was like, I don't know what time it was, probably like 9 o'clock in the night, not morning, 9 o'clock at night, I basically climbed into bed, and Chloe's like, I'll take care of Moppy. I said, okay. Well, she went into the bedroom, closed the door, and then afterwards, she started playing her game. Well, 1 o'clock, I got up to use the bathroom, and I said, hey, you know what time it is? She's like, oh yeah, this game's addictive. I want number 2. So I said, fine, I'll get you the first one on disc and the second one. The first one on disc's my husband's game. So, she's like, you and your sentimental. Well, even Mother Pam's got sentimental stuff. I mean, we were joking about the 50-year-old wooden spoon set she has, and I said, yeah, my hat's 40 years old. We joked about that. And then afterwards, we talked about, like I said, the whole story of what happened over Thanksgiving. And Mother Pam's a vegan, so she had everything that wasn't meat related. And me, I was so busy that I sat down. I had like my mashed potatoes and gravy. I had the other dishes to go with it, but I never focused on the turkey. I only had a couple little slivers of turkey because, time I got done, I was like, feeling kind of over bloated. You overeat Thanksgiving. It was like throughout the day when we were making brownies and fudge and everything else, I was eating it. But anyways, back to this story for some of you out there curious, probably it's because it's my channel. What happened exactly with this chat on? I think it was Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yeah. So Wednesday. So we got done with the thing. You got a Christmas tree, and our Christmas tree is being delivered. Well, I got on the phone. I finally said, we need to get this done again, because I was talking to someone else who said, oh, well, there's different social workers, And by the way, I will just say for an opinion, that I'm kind of I'm going to bring up Black Friday today, too. This is part of Black Friday. One of the things I'll complain about here at Black Friday real quick is all the freaking emails I'm getting on Black Friday. I mean, I checked my email this morning, and I had over freaking 55 emails just for crap. It's like right there, 6 emails in the last 10 minutes. And so I wanted to complain about that for a second, But anyways, so what happened was, back to the story about this lady. I talked to Chloe, and I got something I want to share with you all on video today, too, before I wrap this up, is, back to the main story. Mother Pam came to come from just not me, but Chloe, because we're both having breakdowns. Well, we had sheriffs coming in and out yesterday. And Mother Pam thought, the sheriff must have been here for me and Chloe because, Chloe's kind of depressed. And she's like, well, and then me. And Chloe realized, I'm juggling, multiple things and multiple tasks, like cooking and this and that. Chloe, she's just sitting there, Railroad Tycoon, or not Railroad Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon now, And so Mother Pam was like, talking to her about her disabilities. And, Mother Pam realized, that there's got to be more to it. Mother Pam's got a degree in psychology, so she's like, doing this and that. And so she's talking to me about the DSM-5, the Diagnostic Statistic Manual. I don't believe it. I think all mental illnesses is a crapshoot. But as Chloe's mom probably knows by now, when it comes to autism, I don't understand it fully. But if you peel off layer by layer, it might be what's causing Chloe's problems because, I always blame, like Mother Pam and I talked, I always blame Chloe's mom for not taking care of Chloe properly, because of the demands. But then again, Chloe, as Mother Pam said, is trying too hard to be a woman. So, no one knows. But we're not here to say, oh, whoa. We're not tearing layer by layer, getting to the candy or the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop and tearing layer by layer for Chloe. It was just, but, back to the story because you guys are probably curious about what happened. So, called this lady up, asked to transfer. I told her, hey, my name's Reverend, Rita. She's like, oh, well, Chloe basically threw a fit and said, no, I'm not talking to the freaking winch. So the lady basically heard Chloe's answer. And she says, well, I'll talk to you, Rita. So I explained my situation. I was diagnosed with, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, mild retardation, bipolar, all these other things, right? Supposedly bipolar crap. And the lady pulled up my developmentally disabled program from birth to now. And she says, you're clearly this. How come you haven't signed up? No one told me about it. Chloe's mom brought it up through this person who did this person who told me to look into it for myself. But Chloe just said, I'm not dealing with it. Well, talking to the lady, she asked me if I had access to Chloe's medical records. Yes, we do. Well, being diagnosed at 10 years old, that might just change over to a different, what do you call it? To a different, what do you call it? Diagnosis, And so when I was talking about, what's going on, she was just explaining, she's a social worker, that, at 10 years old, the state law says you have to be diagnosed with Asperger's or mild retardation or something else, by 4. So, and then you get services to like 12 or something. She said my mother utilized the program until 12 or something, then we were kicked off it. But when it comes to the mental hospitals, as I told the lady, I said, her Social Security exhibit file says one thing, says a different thing. Now, Asperger's, I said she was diagnosed, from what I understand, from her parents and Chloe at 9 or 10. So because of it, she just said, well, there might be a program to help, but she talked about the job coaching. And so she was going to come out to talk, but Chloe's like, well, fuck it, I ain't going to be here. So you can deal with it on her own. And so Chloe's like going to disappear on Wednesday, Thursday, whatever she's coming. It's in my phone. But anyways, so basically, and I put whoever it is who's pissing me off because, frankly, if the mental hospital's lying, they're lying. But the main thing is, when it comes to the mental hospitals, they've given her everything under the severe mental illness under the DSM-5. And now with me, I believe that if you peel off layer by layer, like I told the social worker, you can get to the root of the problem, which is autism. Well, anyways, as you all know, when I spoke to some people to try to look into some help for Chloe at the local mental place here on the island, they turned around and they said, well, after having a valid argument with them that they said, well, if it's truly autism and it's not the other misdiagnoses, then they are willing to recommend a specialist, which we have emails and phone calls out now. They said if it is the other thing, then, it should be different calibrations. But right now, the entire thing is no one knows. And so, when Mother Pam was talking about yesterday, with Chloe and I, Mother Pam was just saying, that, she apologized because, the responsibilities is, she was saying, dinner would have been probably a lot longer, and we would have probably had dinner around 12 o'clock in the morning because of, other issues. But back to the story. So I talked to this lady for an hour. The lady already pulled up my information because my mother used the DD program from like 2 or 3 onwards. And so she's like, oh, we have your old name, your new name, everything's calibrated, no problem. But when it came to the other issue, we were trying to figure out how to get help for Chloe. Well, when the lady asked me specific questions about medical records and what I knew, and so we were trying to coordinate help with Chloe, when she realized, what was happening, like between APS and, et cetera, and so forth, she realized, because she actually pulled up Chloe's information, found a release of info, and said, oh, yeah, you're authorized to speak. Well, the Social Security lady didn't want to. She was like trying to push her own wheelbarrow, and she said, well, we could still reappeal it. But when I explained that Chloe already reapplied for disability through the phone and through Social Security, she's like, well, did they start accumulating records and stuff? I said, yes. So they accumulated the records. They're doing everything they can. But when I explained to the lady the whole issues surrounding not just her records, but you know what's in it. She said, well, the only course of action, because from what she gathered from what I've explained, that I said Chloe should be on disability, but same time, you got in her medical records where you got people turning around, and basically putting in her medical records from Chloe's own voicing and every one of her mental records and physical records that what do you call it? Uh, Basically said she wants a true diagnosis to get on disability. Well, her lawyer said, well, that's going to be kind of a problem because of whatever reason. And so, um, uh, you know, uh, you know, uh, So I just wanted to say, some dumbass basically posted something that doctors don't lie, but the problem uh, is I will be going and checking on something in a minute. I need to get something anyways, and I will continue what happened. So basically, what happened with this discussion with this lady was, that if the mental hospital is telling the truth, then she's not autistic. That's what they're saying in her records. But because of this, the lady also stated that, there could be a chance to get her on disability with limited working, so she can figure out how to do it with a work coach, which is great. Fortunately, Chloe doesn't want to meet the lady. Chloe's like, she's becoming a rebel. But I will be right back. I have something to get, and I will be right back. Are you still up? You need to come out here. Nope. I'm going to a second. So anyways, one of the things I want to share with you all, talking about stuff, is games. Now, games is a hobby of mine. Now, I just pulled out a box, right? And this is Civilization Call to Power. It's an enhanced DVD version, brand new sealed. I've had it for years. And I was toying with the idea of this is Civilization Tested Time. I don't know anything about this. This seems cool. And then you got Civilization Call of Power 2, which seems cool, And then you got Civilization 3, which comes with 2. Again, this is really cool. And basically, sorry, Moppy was disturbing. I think it's Moppy. Anyways, talking about games, I was looking into trying Civilizations 1 through 5. Unfortunately, 4 and 5 is a download only to something else. But anyway, so shall I continue with the discussion between Mom, Pam, I, and everything? So after we talked about what was going on, I'll just put these in a corner temporarily so I don't have to go back, because I've been thinking about installing them this morning. But Chloe's addicted to Roller Coaster Tycoon. But anyway, basically, if I'm reading the comment properly, and I'm not going to be angry. It was just anger that someone had to post that, so that's why I put them in timeout. That frankly, what it is the mental place basically is saying one thing yet not saying the other. They're saying, well, she's not autistic, she's schizophrenic, bipolar, borderline, narcissistic, schizoaffective, schizotypical, or whatever it's called, the other schizo. I mean, they have a line like this. So anyways, because of it, the lady turned around and said, until they can figure it out or mark what is what, then that is going to be a problem, So, but anywho, so Chloe basically, we both had a breakdown yesterday, and Chloe realized that if I didn't get any help, because she said that herself, then there'd be some problems, because frankly, I can't just juggle baking and baking and baking followed by cooking a turkey, followed by cooking everything in the stove. And so in the end, Mother Pam was like, calm down, Rita said this. And, it was like selective hearing type thing. But at the same time, once everything was done, I was cleaning up everything, dishes one by one, washing them. And Mother Pam's like, well, I should be able to help you out. And I'm like, you're a guest, you shouldn't be cleaning my apartment while I'm juggling the kitchen, cooking this, cooking corn, cooking green beans, cooking this, cooking that. Dude, I forgot the freaking stuffing. Out of all the freaking stuff in the world, I can make stuffing today, though. I forgot the freaking stuffing. Usually I sit there and say, oh, this isn't bad. But I forgot the freaking stuffing. I mean, out of all the stuff I was doing, juggling everything, and having Mother Pam climb on the computer and do her whatever, it was like, whatever it is, but anyway, so talking to the lady already knows I'm developmentally disabled now. With Chloe, we're going to get her the other stuff. But thing is, Chloe basically, before she got off the phone, turned around and basically told the lady that she does not want Chloe's mom to interfere in Chloe's life. So the lady's like, well, it seems there's some problems there, but she won't interfere. She respects Chloe's wishes. But also, Chloe doesn't plan to go anyways to this appointment. She doesn't want to. She's a rebel. So, it's like either Chloe, yesterday Chloe was asking if the fairies were running. Chloe's like, well, with me having a breakdown, trying to juggle everything, Mom Pam saying, don't do any, both of you don't push each other over the edge, because I don't want to have you both admitted to the hospital here to go to psych wards in 2 different hospitals. So she had to basically, calm down, etc., etc. But anyways, let's just say, are you sleeping on here? Well, sorry, I was just talking to her. She's addicted to Roller Coaster Tycoon, so she's asked for roller.
Seriously, I just
addicted to it.
I was spending all night building onto a park I was doing really good at.
I'm happy for you.
Now, I was just like,
So apparently,
it's like, those building games, you just feel like you have to keep building more and more and more. I didn't get my Guild Wars 2 time in because that. Oh my goodness.
I gotta fix something, but why don't you talk for a minute? I was trying to explain the whole thing about that social worker lady I talked to.
Listen here, Mom. Get off my channel. Listen here, Mom. Get off the channel. You're doing nothing but causing trouble, and it's the holidays, Mom. Seriously. You did this the day before Thanksgiving. Now you're doing it the day after Thanksgiving. Seriously. Seriously, what is wrong with you to think you could just attack Rita on a holiday? Why don't you just keep this up on Christmas Eve? New Year's Eve? Hell. Springtime comes, why don't you keep it, hell, if you're still doing it springtime, why don't you do it on why don't you do it on Good Friday next year? You're going to keep doing this. For starters, next month, why don't you just do it Christmas Eve, because it's like you're attacking around the holidays.
As my cousin Tara said, recently, I think would you agree with Tara, since Tara cares for all of us? That she says some people just don't have a life, and they just want to attack, and so forth. But basically, it says doctors don't lie. Well, apparently, she's saying the doctors don't lie, I assume, about your mental illnesses over the whatever, But, the thing is I was saying that you were diagnosed at 9 or 10, and then I also was explaining, what happened to your hand there? You got bug bites?
It's razor burn.
Oh, wow. Anyways, I was trying to explain the whole thing, where, I called that lady just to make peace. And, you remember how you told the lady you don't want services from her?
Yeah.
But anyways, so I was trying to explain the story, and yesterday, Chloe and I both had a meltdown because, Mother Pam, she was helping us out because she felt bad that she wanted you to go with her. But, if I was juggling everything, Mother Pam told me last night, we would have had dinner like midnight for the turkey because of all the baking. So Chloe picked up and became a little Miss Chloe Crocker and decided to clean and clean and clean and get everything done, And
I did some of the baking too.
She did a great job. Those cookies were really good. Mother Pam was addicted to those cookies.
I don't really like the cookies I make. I mean, you guys may like them, but
they're okay. So I guess I offended someone by putting him in timeout. But anyway,
I made those cookies for us. I wasn't really much of a fan of those myself.
And then the thing is when I explained to the lady that I was the social worker, because Chloe was talking to her mother recently about conservatorship. The only way conservatorship happens apparently is if under strict guidelines that APS decided to do something. They won't do anything. But APS is basically saying because I'm vulnerable, they could start filing against certain people like Chloe's mom if they have to, because that is considered downright attackment and harassment, which if Chloe had to, Chloe could go file a restraining order against her mother for harassment too, I mean, it can work. So you did good with baking, that. But anyways, so Chloe turned around, like I said, and told the lady outright that she didn't want services because she doesn't. And this lady's like, well, we could probably put in a job type thing, but a job type thing is a little different. It's kind of complicated, but the lady's willing to try, but Chloe's just like, absolutely not. I mean, I've been curious, why is it that you don't want to, are you tired of tired of whatever it is, Chloe?
Doing a good job because that whole Moses Lake thing.
No, it wasn't that. That would be. I think personally, we got someone spying on us. I bet you I know who it is too. Again,
my mom.
Probably. You know what I would encourage you to do if you really, really want to whatever. Mother Pam was saying you should have called her and wished her a happy Thanksgiving yesterday.
Yeah, but I didn't have the time.
Well, you were baking like crazy yesterday.
Yeah, I was like busy baking, washing dishes.
Yeah, so was I. Cleaning this, cleaning that, reorganizing cupboards, But anyways, like I said, for all you out there, I know Jesse Ash has got some free books for. I think he wants me to read the books he wrote. He said today's the day for Black Friday for free books. So I said, hey, I'd love to read them.
I wish this was an apartment we could smoke in there. If I could do it in front of my mom on the YouTube.
I wish we could smoke too, because I'd smoke a cigar too.
Just to set an example, just to prove a point.
So basically, what you're trying to say is born to be wild and born to be a rebel without a cause.
Yeah.
Rebel Without a Cause by James Dean. Good movie, by the way.
Oh, I always been rebellious.
Yeah, well, I just threw that in there to be funny, because somewhere in here, I think, is a box set. Yeah, it's in here somewhere in the VHS cabinets where it's Rebel Without a Cause by James Dean. So, I wish, and I'm not going to basically go and point names or say negative, you know what I mean? When I get angry, usually it's addressed towards, the name calling thing, right? I've never ever done it directed towards you. But when it comes to other people, like these people here, you know how I feel. And yet I would like to have someone who doesn't realize. You see, this is the other thing I'm going to talk to in a minute, Because every time I turn around, and I'm going to get bitch about this in a second. And I'm going to bitch to you about it because I can. But people should sit there, right? If they're gonna come on my channel, okay, and be a complete jackass, I'm just gonna say it, a jackass. Which I know Jesse Ash, Jess said he loves us how we actually express our true opinions, right, of the trans community and everything else, and how we explain things. But complete jackass, and I'm looking at the camera when I say it because we have two people watching this. And, freedom of speech is allowed. So, my freedom of speech, my channel, but complete jackass. That if they're going to sit there and point fingers and say doctors don't lie, right? Then they better get off their lazy ass and tell me what the hell they're talking about. Because, frankly, if doctors don't lie, then what is it? Because someone needs to explain a statement like that, because all I said is that, and you know it yourself, that if you peel back all the layers of the Asperger's, right, you'll get to the diagnoses that they're basically sticking on you already for all these severe mental illnesses. Now, if you have that many severe mental illnesses, then that the lady said that could counter the thing with DED, developmentally disabled. But she pulled up my records from like 2 years old in the computer thing, and she's like, "Oh, we have it all here. You're on disability because of the mild retardation and the learning disabilities and the other things all stacked up." And to me, it was an interesting concept. That the lady said, "Well, Chloe, it's like, yes, we can submit the records." But basically, as the lady and I talked about on the phone, you remember I spent like, what, 75 to 90 minutes with her? She seemed really nice. Anyway, she was basically stating, that something to do with, and I'm going to go and bitch in a second about this next because I can. Chloe would probably be curious more about this. But anyways, basically, what I want to say is to all you out there that, I had a mental breakdown. Mother Pam had to help me, and then, Mother Pam asked me about Wednesday's conversation. It was Thursday, today's Friday, about the whole ordeal of who I was on the phone with. When I explained it to her, Mother Pam basically said, that she's willing to talk to this lady with me present because, which is nice, she's willing to talk to the lady present, to explain to the lady until, to get things to a thing, because she's like, she wants to let the lady know that Chloe doesn't need to be put into a job coaching program. Chloe needs disability. But, as Mother Pam said, it's kind of complicated because, you got that lawyer who canned you because, you remember what he said. There's too many diagnoses. Which one Social Security going to try to figure out? If you have all of them, then there's really some problems. I mean, but you get the idea. So Mother Pam was just like, well, I'd like to be there because I'd like to help work with both of you. And she's trying to help us out a lot anyways. I mean, she's the one that basically came by and said, here's a Christmas tree. We just got a brand new Christmas tree with all these little lights and stuff that's really nice. And we went there, and she also got a little hat from Mopsy, which, where is my Shih Tzu? Is he under the bed again? I bet you if Chloe reached her hand under there, she could just touch it and, All right, time for me to talk about. So basically, when I've talked to the lady, I was talking to the lady, and I'm going to basically vent about this other problem in a second because it's kind of being annoying. Those are brownies? Oh, yeah, those are delicious. So one of the things I want to complain about is, talking to the lady, she basically realized Chloe's not there. Oh, well, she's going to bring the job coach along. The problem is Chloe doesn't want to come. Chloe doesn't have to come, she said. She just thought Chloe'd like to meet her to show her that certain people aren't bad. But the problem is Chloe's had so many problems with the local office, our new local office for the welfare, that she just doesn't want to handle things. So, I mean, that's why she told the lady basically to kiss her ass when the lady was trying to ram down her own opinion. Chloe turned around. This is where the rebellion side comes in. And she's like, no. So when the lady said, well, we can reverse this and reverse that and, take and get her, we can reappeal it, but it'll take 18 months to 24 months minimum to get more back pay for her. Chloe's like, fuck it. I already reapplied. The lady's like, well, we can have that one taken down. She says, don't you hear me? I reapplied, which means all my records are now being acquired by Social Security, which means you can't do it. Once I reapplied, it takes away. So the lady was going to look into it. And apparently, when she checked into it, she called me back. She's like, yeah, because you reapplied, you threw away all that back pay. But, Chloe doesn't really care. She's just like, she just doesn't want to deal with the freaking state anyways anymore. It's like she doesn't want to go through the loopholes, So, anyways, I wanted to share with you my gripe now. There's a gripe I want to share with you all for a minute that is kind of more important than, that's kind of important to me this morning. It has to do with not with the, Chloe's mom wants to sit there and say whatever. She can say what she wants, I want to say, quote unquote, that I want to say that the thing that's pissing me off, by the way, for you all is that Black Friday, okay? Here's what's other gripes, okay? And then I want to share something with Chloe anyways, but let me just get to the BS, okay? So, Chloe and I, and I think Chloe agrees, right? That you heard all those ding, ding, dings on the computer?
Yeah.
Those email notifications back to back to back for Black Friday, Chloe. Now, Black Friday should be basically gone. They should ban it, okay? I don't want to freaking sit there and have my Thanksgiving dinner. Have my Thanksgiving, yesterday while talking to Mother Pam, and all you get is one message after another, after another, after another. Like this one here's Apple. The Apple shopping event. Get the biggest shopping weekend deals on Apple. You see? Apple. Now, like I said, what the hell? You see? See, this is BS. You see, there it goes again. Just basically turn around and more email is coming out. So, anyways, Black Friday. So let's just cut to the BS before I go and climb into bed. I want to share a couple things with you all. A couple things. But anyways, I'm going to have to turn the volume off, I think, on the freaking TV because I'm not going to be hearing any more crap. You guys can still hear me through the microphone. I'm just turning the volume off so I don't have to hear this crap, okay? What do you think, Chloe? Freaking too many emails are coming in. I got one from Apple. 30 seconds later, I got one from something else. This is spam. I don't know how the spam got it out of the spam folder. And then you see what's going on, right? Mm-hmm. And this Black Friday sale, another Black Friday sale. It's hard to say, but my Black Friday sale is not going to be calibrating with this. All right, so let's just finish up, okay? Finish this up so we can go and me and Chloe's gonna go take a nap because we are happy, right?
Yes.
I gotta run some of this pudge off. I overate yesterday. I went to bed at like 9. She of course spent all night playing a game. Oh, talking about games for a minute, okay? This is one of my hobbies, all right? Now, Chloe's asked for Roller Coaster Tycoons 1, 2, and I'm going to try to get her 3, too. Even though she doesn't like 3, I thought it'd be good for her collection pack, so she'd play 3, But anyways, there's a game series that I wanted to talk to you about, Chloe, on video. Because, it's not just about talking about jackasses who like to add fuel to the fire.
Go on.
I would like to know if you'd be interested in working with me, possibly, at sampling some of these games out that I've never tried, that I bought a long time ago. This one comes to Civilization 2.
Okay.
And then this is Civilization 2 Call to Power 2, which is a Call of Power. Civilization 2 Test of Time, and Civilization Call to Power. And then I'm going to try to go.
Those are like old games?
These are old games that I've never installed. Never installed. I bought them because Fiona had them. And, you know, the wifey had them. But anyway.
90s games. So.
No, they're 2000s.
Thousands?
Yeah, 2000s, yeah. Civilization 1 was like 97. Civ 2 was like 4 years later.
Yeah, because I'm kind of skeptical with like 90s software on my computer because, you know, I got a Windows 10 and just like, you know, Windows 10 Windows 10 gets kind of like, you know, iffy when it doesn't it's like it doesn't want to read 90s 90s,
yeah, well, Windows 7's kind of like that too, or Windows 7 to a point, you know. Now
Windows 10's worse though. It's like they don't like 90s content. It's like anything that's 90s format they don't like. Now thousands they'll take, but if it's like 90s, 80s or so, they won't.
Yeah, 80s is like, yeah, if you want Windows rewind, which Windows
it's like it only likes it only likes whatever's from the 21st century.
Right.
Doesn't like 20th century stuff.
So, anyways, I wanted to share that with you. I thought about getting into some Civilization. 2 looked really good. You know, I want to try 2 out first and work my way up. They have 6 now on the Switch. So, anyways, with all of you out there, you know, Chloe's already given me a couple ideas for Christmas gifts. So we're doing that now. Chloe's, you know, the thing is there anything else to say in this morning's video? Nope, I guess not. You know, the video went too long yet again, as Jess would say, but Jess will say also it was a good show too. But, you know, my main thing is talking to this lady, you know, I explained everything to the lady that I could, from the mental point of view to the developmentally disabled, you know, and she's like, you know, and I never accused anyone of lying. In my video, I explained that, you know, the lady basically stated that, you know, at 4 years old is when you have to be diagnosed with Asperger's. Otherwise, you know, you get rolled into a different program. Now, the other program you get rolled into is usually if you can't wipe your ass, feed yourself, do dishes, house chores, or something. But since Chloe has someone like me to pick up the pace, you know, then, you know, the lady's like, well, the only thing we can probably do is help her get on disability with be an advocate and or job thingy. But she said because the state of Ohio did the DVR thing, apparently, she can probably pull it out again. The problem is trying to find work on this island. And 2 is the other thing is she said because it's they're basing everything on mental instead of Asperger's, that, you know, autism actually, and I've tried to explain this to Chloe's mom, that autism is a rubber stamp. But apparently, you know, as I told the lady today, I said, we can get Chloe's other record, the ones that, you know, we're supposed to be paying for, in Ohio. Problem is, when I talked to the psychiatrist himself, or psychologist, he said, quote unquote, that it's a synopsis. It's not the entire charts and notes and everything, because, you know, the records are 21 years old. So he's just giving you a basically breakdown of how he diagnosed, yes, this person has this. And, you know, the other thing is like Social Security said on the phone, that diagnosis is 21 years old. They want an actual current diagnosis. And if Chloe was getting treatment off and on for 21 years, they want a current diagnosis that says, you know, Asperger's. So anyways, me and Chloe's got some discussions on games today. I want to talk to Chloe about games. I was gonna go and take a nap with her. It's getting light, and so forth and so on. Mother Pam said she'll check in with us today sometime, but I, on the other hand, need to get back to bed because I'm tired, and I mean, Chloe admitted yesterday that I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm getting up there in age where my heart's, my heart disease is speeding up to a point, and, last night when I've been running all over the place cleaning and cooking and having Chloe help me, I don't think Chloe realized last night that when I climbed into bed, that was it. I was out till like 1. Got up, used the bathroom, went back to sleep. So, but anyways, with that said, I am going to do this because I can. There you go. This user's messages will be hidden. There you go. So you were hidden on my channel, so no one can basically do jack shit. So you can watch the channel, but you can't basically post comments on it. What do you think? Mm-hmm. With that said, everyone, please add and subscribe. Please. With that said, everyone, please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestions. Keep it nice is all we ask. Hit that like and subscribe button so some fun, even for the family. Thanks for watching Buttercup. Stay tuned for another video.